Hello everyone, this is Anne from Odulcina Scrap. Not too long ago, I've created that junk journal. The full flip through video is still to come. While I was showing you the cover, I showed you those two, I showed you those two additions to add to my cover as decorations, like different layers. And I told you I would do some with you all to show you how to create a gorgeous card like that. So this is the video today. What I've been doing is I've been printing the full-size letter page. If you print the same paper on a 8 by 10 size paper instead of the letter size paper or A4 paper, you see what it does is that it's printing a smaller version and it just leaves more white there. It's the same for this is a letter size format, but if you print it as an A4 paper, you will just have more white at the top, I think. So if you want a smaller card, you print the page on a 8 by 10 paper format, and you can go on like that to reduce the size of the cards as you wish to have. That's my first tip for the printing process. All right, I'm not sure if that works from a cellular phone or an iPad, but from a computer you have those sizes available, like the 8 by 10, 5 by 7 and that kind of stuff. So you can definitively print that size. So I'm going to trim them, ink them, and then start decorating them with you all. Look at that. They're all trimmed and inked. And now what I've done is I looked at my stash. These were made through older videos, so I'm gonna try to find back the links to those older videos. So in case you're new to my channel, you can go back and see the process in order to do those, because I'm gonna use them. And then I took the pile of new embroideries that I did this summer while traveling in the car. This is my favorite thing to do, is I bring some embroidery threads and I just do some embroideries. So look at this one. This is the coffee shop, and I didn't put any flowers because there was no flowers there, but I just did, let me zoom instead. Yeah, okay. So I did the leaves, so they're kind of 3D now, and it makes it all because I'm gonna add laces and everything around. This is in the houses that I did a few months ago, just adding here and there little French knots to put the flowers there. Okay, let me show you that lady. I just put some flowers into her basket. Isn't it cute? This retro lady, I added the flowers in her hands. Those retro ladies, I've just added the flowers, different colors, just French knots. Isn't it great? And this I had it done a while ago, but I never actually did any cluster like I had done with those. So let me just show you what we can do, because look at that. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so we can see the whole thing. But if I look at that, look how great it is on that darker green card. This. So let's start to show you, because the final result will be really quick with those already done, but then I'm going to build one or two with from scratch, so you can see my process kind of. But let's try with these. Are small, so I'm not so sure. We would need to add something else, but as you can see, we can just place it, and we have kind of a card with numbers, with a header, and a couple of numbers and writings on. So the card is really cute by itself, so you just need to add something, and maybe an embossed paper or music paper or coffee stain tracing paper, for example, and that would be it. So same for, look at that. And you can glue it on the side a little bit too. So yeah, these are my smaller one. That helps a bit. For this, let's say that could be something like that, and then I can add more here. Let's go with another one on the side or in the middle, as you can see. Let's try to find another card. Let's say for this one. Yeah, look at that. It's already cute. You just glue that. Of course, I had to work on this piece, but there's some green here. Not the good green. This one would be better. I could put it like that and add more lace and some journaling too. What about this little guy there? So, like that. Same for, this one is huge, so I can hide the numbers. That would be great on that one too. As you can see, if you do them in advance, you don't overthink the process because you're just doing a cluster. And then once you have your cluster done, it is so easy to just try different options and pick your favorite. Like, they're all cute. And this could just do a cover, or at least a layer on your cover. So let me show you if I take, this is the perfect green for that, right? So I always, when I print my fabric, well, I make them print, there's a lot of white around to allow you to add some stitching, embroidery, gluing down more lace or other layers, but you can always trim it down as well. So for this example, I'll just make it thinner, so at least I can remove the fabric if there's too much, but otherwise I cannot really add more, so I prefer adding more than less. So this is my start. Now I'm gonna see what I can add under and over it. So I gathered a few Crafty Me Shop laces here, and I'm gonna create a cover, like I'm gonna decorate this. That's an idea. So I'm gonna start by adding some crinkly paper. So I need to add a little bit of ink. It's not a tracing paper. They might say it's a tracing paper, but it's totally white. There's no transparency other than it's really thin. So to my own opinion, this is not tracing paper, but it makes a sound. All right, so I don't want to hide all of that. Maybe that paper is just too big. So let me try. I think that sometimes when you have too much choices of laces, you have a hard time to decide. I don't want to put the lace everywhere because I don't want to waste too much of lace behind that. And for sure I want a lace around the fabric, like if the fabric is on a lace, that should be good. Like this one, like that, and maybe some paper behind a little bit. And then when I glue it, I thought maybe I can do some folds in the paper, just because when it's too flat, it's boring a bit. So if you do something like that, and then everything has a different angle, nothing is straight with me. You know that by now, eh? I just can't. Okay, I kind of like that. I kind of like that. This lace is way too gorgeous to hide it behind, and anyway, it's too small. But I could cut like a slice of the side and add it somewhere. So you know what, at this point, this is a good base. I won't add anything behind it. So I'm gonna, sorry, I was not even on frame. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue this part first, and then I can add more on top. First thing I'm gonna do, when I want to glue my stuff, you saw me doing it a couple of times, but I glue in layers. So I know this could go here. This looks great. So what I'm gonna do, I got my glue gun ready because I'm gonna use fabric and lace. So I'm gonna be lazy and just use that with my super spatula. Okay, so this is kind of secure, and I'll just glue the middle because I know there's going to be fabric on top. All right, now I can place the lace and the fabric, and now I can cut my lace. So this will give me an idea of where I'm going with that. As you can see, I'm trying to cut not straight. And I'll rework whatever I'm trimming to make sure it doesn't look straight. Just a bit like that. Oh my God. All right. So if I place the lace, sometimes you can try the other way just to see if it makes a difference. I like it this way too. And then I'll put the ladies there, and it actually fall pretty good. There's just that here that it needs a little bit of fold. So I'm gonna add a little bit of folds here and here and see how it looks like. That's pretty good. All right, so when I'm gonna glue the fabric, it's gonna glue the lace all together. So what I'll do is I'll just lift it up a bit, put some glue in the middle, use my spatula. It moved. Okay, boy. I think it's the first time it does that to me. Okay, so I flattened and glued the middle. So now whatever I do, nothing happens. And I can wait till I know what I'm doing, because let's say if I want to add some tulle and I want to slide it a little bit, well, I need it to be not fully glued. So for this corner, for example, well, I like it, so I'll keep going on. I'll put some glue here, and I'm thinking I want the lady to be flat, but the corner, I'd like a couple of folds. What about that? Look at that. Isn't it cute? But we want the design to be mostly flat. So I'm just creating a fold in that corner. And it's going to hold that tulle at the same time. So that's why you don't glue the sides too quickly in case you want to add something. All right, what else I can add? I love this here. I just don't want to ruin the whole, well, I guess I could. Sometimes you need to create smaller pieces. But no worries, I'm gonna use this remaining on another project for sure. But I love this kind of peachy beige, rose, pink, and maybe I can add something somewhere. Okay, I'm not gluing, I'm just looking at different options. It's the same for this Crafty Me shop lace. Look at this one. It's a big one, and I never use it by its own. Well, I don't recall if I used it. What I'm doing is I grab these from the side, as you can see, on both sides, and then I still have the middle, and I think I saw a leftover. Yeah, there's a leftover like that. So see, I could use just this part, just this rose, and or just this part. But you know what? I think it looks really good. Just like that. What about that? Is it too much? Maybe. Maybe a bit too much. Let me see if that would be better on the other side. Or no. Maybe it's just a bit too big and I need to trim it down a bit. Yeah, because I could use just a part of it, like I usually do. But let's see if I can find something better. Oh, I have that cute lace here that I wanted maybe to just use a part of it. We are 2 days later because yesterday was a perfect day to go to the aqua park and the zoo with kids. And yeah, so I'm trying to work these videos and projects when the kids are still sleeping in the morning. Or yeah, I don't have much time those days, so because it's summer here, so I'm taking more time to do my videos. Now that I'm back this morning, what really struck to me, and I guess maybe some of you do that, when you just don't know where to go and what to add, if you take a little break and you come back later, in my case it's 2 days later, I kind of had immediately another view of the project and a new view of the project, and I thought I should just put like a sari silk or a lace, but just like that is longer on both sides of the cluster. And I really love that because on that I can add maybe 3 buttons or any kind of decorations. I can even have a little bow of fancy yarns. So I'll start with the sari silk. This one is part of my bundle, the Anne's collection bundle. This one. So you have the polka dots with, but you have the neutral here, which is this one, which is kind of a must to have. Oh, I need to. Okay, yeah, I remember now. I had glued this, folded this part, so I just need to glue it down now. Let's finish what I started first. All right. And I think I should keep going on with creating some folds. Even if we might not really see them because they're going to be hidden by the sari silk. Okay, so I always look on both sides to see which side is the cutest. The look of the folds and the look of the fabric, because it's really hard to say which side is the good one or not. Is there even a wrong side? So I'm going to control with the spatula, create some fabric and control the length of the whole sari silk. And I'm ready to cut. And I think the buttons are really a perfect idea. I'll leave it longer than the card. I can trim it back later on, but I love to have something hanging out of the cards as well. Look at that, where we are going right now. We didn't add that much. It's a paper, a lace, the fabric with some embroidery, and the inventory card as well, of course. And with all the writing there and the background and all the details you see in the printing, that makes it really like complete. So I just need something here, either a bow with the fancy yarns or buttons, but I'm really going for buttons. Oh, I have these buttons here. It's kind of my little quick access stash. And I know I have a bunch at the bottom. Let me take a card. I have some that they already have the thread. I spent an amount of time just doing the threads, so they are done and ready to go. So, but they are now mostly at the bottom of this pot because I've added more buttons, but didn't do the thread. All right, let's see if I can do or find something quick. Okay, so these are the ones I found, and I think I have enough choices. This became kind of a caution pin with time. It started with only the buttons and then the thread and one needle to add the thread to the buttons. And yeah, it's piling on. But I love it. It works great. All right, so I don't want to put all of that amount of buttons, even though I find this pretty cute. It is pretty cute. I think I'm going to leave them all there, actually. It is cute. 3 or more, right? I'm going to keep them all. They just place themselves really perfectly, and because they're all different sizes, but all in the white or off-white and antique style, that looks really great. Oh, I'm gonna need to remove a little bit too much glue. All right, now I'm double. Should I switch some? No overthinking, Anne. Just, it looked good. Just leave it like that. So I need to talk to myself sometimes too. And when I'm gluing them, I'm trying to place them perfectly, not aligned and not spaced equally. A bit like they've been since they placed themselves on the Sarah silk. I love it when it looks messy, but it's a controlled messy. It looks messy. It's like the tearing, right? I'm gonna zoom you in a bit. It's like the tearing of the paper. It's a messy thing when you think about it, but this is what gives kind of the whole character to the piece. Wow, I'm gonna need to find more buttons in the thrift store, eh? They're getting harder and harder to find. I think I'm gonna end this card with this because there's a lot of details there to look at. It's busy enough and it looks really great. It looks really great. Let me zoom a little bit so you can see the embroidery if you're interested in doing something similar with those ladies. I just did French knots. I did a couple of French knots with silk ribbons and embroidery threads. So it's a mix of silk ribbons and embroidery threads, but it's only French knots. And a little bit of the green threads to mimic the leaves, but they are just straight lines, kind of. There you go. I have to stop the video here because it's way too long, but this is an overview of all the cards that I've created, and there's going to be a part 2 for the remaining cards that I didn't show the process to do. So if it's something that interests you, watch for part 2 next day. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.